Well, I just realised that the music finished. Good evening. Welcome to WooTube. Any minute now, I'll probably. Oh my gosh, yes, there we are. Hello, everyone. Okay, so just to put a few things into context, I am really hungover. I have just got back, well, um, a few hours ago, I just got back from Worlds. I definitely drunk way too much last night, or the correct amount, depending on how you look at things. But it was all worth it. It was a good time. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Worlds and what happened. Source, good evening. How was your trip back? Source was one of one of my flatmates for the weekend. We had a pretty excellent little team of us in a little Airbnb. Got a very good deal out of that. Good evening, End Sibiite. It's a cool name. Hey Sunny D20. That's also a cool name. Solid. And Phil's in the chat. I know. Uh, how are you doing, Phil? Um, so where do we start with Worlds? Do you want to hear about my decks, or do you want to hear about the mental decks which other people were playing because they were better than my decks? Maybe we'll start. Uh let's let's. I'm really it seems like a great way to start a stream. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with my stuff. So I was. Oh, I've just put them into here, haven't I? So that we can see them a bit better. Augustus, sup? I'm sure you'll catch most of this, at least the amount that I can do before I pass out, because I am still feeling pretty rough from last night. Augustus also in our flat. So let's start here. This was the Corp deck that I took to Worlds. I should also no, I'm going to start off by saying Worlds was fucking sick. I had such a good time. Um, I should firstly just give a massive shout out to Ma in particular, but also Ed and Yasengrin and the whole team of volunteers. There's way too many people. I will forget people if I try and name everyone. But my word, they put on one hell of an event. They had to deal with a whole load of hassles, some to do with the venue, some to do with technical issues, and they worked through it and they put on a fantastic event. Really, really fantastic. I think I didn't see a single person come away who kind of didn't have a great time. So like massive thanks if you were one of the volunteers and you're watching this. Um, Amazing work. Really, really amazing work. It was such a great experience to be part of. And I highly recommend it. Go to a big netrun event. It is potentially the most fun you'll ever have. Like some of it is playing great netrunner, but most of it is just hanging out and meeting people. I met so many people that I hadn't met in person, and I was desperate to meet. A load of my housemates who I was with was great. Um, and I got to hang out with the QTM bunch a whole load. We went and got sushi on the Sunday. That was amazing. People that I've never met before from all over the world. Obviously, a lot of the US and Canada contingent. Got to spend a load of time with Abraham, Man in the Moon, and Charlie, who turns out they are as nice as you would imagine they are. They are incredible guys, and just everyone. I met so many people, and thank you to everyone that came up and said that they liked my stream, because my word, does that make me feel really, really good. And Yeah, Zombie was someone that was really good to meet. How you doing tonight? Um, Lord Pictures says, good times made from love from people to the people. All right. Um, yeah, Sunny D20, you're 100% correct. Big Netrunner gatherings bring the best vibes. Vibes were incredibly strong for the whole weekend. Like vibes in. It was vibes in. It was hot. I'll tell you what, it's October, but it is hot in Spain. But it was serious vibes going on. Had an amazing time, and yeah, thank you to everyone that I hung out with. Uh, you made it one hell of a weekend for me. Right, let's talk about some decks for a bit. Um, this was my corp. It's very much based on my EMEA um deck, which I took, which was kind of rig shootery rush kind of option. Like potentially you get a lockout, potentially you just could score out while they're finding ways to get through your ice, and you're always trying to give them more challenges to get through. Now, I'd been working on this, and I had a pretty much set in place plan going in until approximately midnight on the Friday. Um, I was out drinking with Cobra Bubbles, Rowan from Norwich, and some of my flatmates. And I started thinking, and I started getting a little bit like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should change this, maybe I should change this. Literally, like, could not concentrate on anything because all I had going through my head was like, maybe I should just build a completely new deck. I nearly completely pivoted, switched to something else, and was going to like desperately ask NSG if they could print me out like 49 proxies in the morning. Decided not to. I went with it, but I did make some drunken changes to the deck between the hours of midnight and 2:30. I was on the phone to Jonald from the UK for at least half an hour when he probably should have been sleeping, and he was talking me sometimes through and sometimes out of my madness. But it was great having his ear to sort of chew about this. It's not tournament ready if you don't make changes just hours prior. Damn straight. So the things which I decided, like in a drunken state, which actually make quite a lot of sense, is that I didn't think that the ice was taxing enough. Like I was playing more small, like techie ice, multiple magnets. I had like two wraparounds at one point, even though we were down to one. And I wanted to make it more taxing for the runner to run. And um, I wanted to adjust some of like I wanted to adjust some of the things. Uh, and so I changed I changed about six cards. I went from I think one envelopment, maybe it was two, to three envelopment. I was like, no, I want three envelopment. Because the whole plan of this deck is to kind of lock them out, obviously. And Bankar is a big problem if you're trying to lock people out. And we have two bits of tech in this deck which are against Bankar. I'll talk about one of them in a second because it's probably the best card that I put in the deck. And you might be able to guess what that card is from the name of the deck, maybe. But envelopment is really good into Bankar because my word, if they're taking 5 net damage when they run into something, then they might lose pieces that they want, and that happened in one of my games. I managed to force someone through an envelopment, and they took 5 net damage because they really thought they really needed to get in, and in that net damage were 3 breakers, and that was fantastic for me. Hey Fix, how you doing? Fix, one of my teammates from Friday, did very well on Friday. Came 7th, pretty solid. There was a lot of tough teams going on out there. So I put 3 envelopment in my deck. Went back to 3. I was like, this is taxing no matter what, and I can rush out early behind it. Um, I switched the code gates up a little bit and put in an Hortum because I was expecting lots of Buzzsaw, and unless you are doing something else alongside your Buzzsaw, then Hortum is really annoying to get through with Buzzsaw. It's also really annoying to get through with Unity until you're like in the end game. And as a like added bonus, if I really need to, then you can triple advance it, and then it's additional protection against Turtle and other AIs. And then the biggest like last minute thing, and this deck is so starved for influence, and yet I was like, the card that I wanted another free cost card. I wanted a taxing century, and I wanted one which didn't matter whether they had cards res or not. And I was like, I'm going to put in a drafter. I'm expecting lots of people to be on Carmen. This thing costs 4 for a Carmen to get through. 4 credits unless you're doing some other nonsense with it. That's great. That's amazing. And have you ever fired one of these off in Ob? Like, you can't let Ob fire this. It gives you 2 cards back, and that's incredibly important in Ob. So I put a drafter in. I was super happy with this change. The drafter was excellent. The slightly more odd choice was this, but I'm also really happy with this. So this Tranquility Home Grid used to be a Vovo, and I liked Vovo. It gives you really good money for resing ice, but you only get that money when you're resing the ice because it's like discount. And I was like, well, it gives me 2 credits when I res ice. Tranquility Home Grid gives me 2 credits every time I just jam something in the server. And I'm going to jam something in the server almost every turn. It's going to be an upgrade or it's going to be an asset. So I just swapped in a Tranquility Home Grid. Now, this leaves a bit of a weird situation because this is an upgrade which can only go in a remote, and we also have a Zato City Grid, which is an upgrade which can only go in a remote, and we're only making more remote. So we're in a this is like odd deck building. I'm not gonna lie. I've got 2 grids. I obviously can't play them both at the same time, but they are for very different points of the game. I want a Tranquility Home Grid early when I can do that, and then I'm just going to sell it to Extract or to a Stavka Fire or whatever I need to do. Maybe I sell it to a Kimberlite Field to get my Ob trigger when I finally want to get my Zato City Grid. And I don't think I used a Zato City Grid all day. I don't think I needed one. And it's why I cut down from 2 of these I had in my original list down to 1, because this is just an end game situation, and actually it's quite hard to assemble exactly the remote that you want to have a Zato City Grid on. So it only works at very specific points in the game, and I figured that if I really need one, I can probably pull one popping a border control. Okay. And then the other changes were increasing to 2 NGO fronts. So in testing, me and John were doing a lot of testing with this. Can you trigger Trank with a Zato install? Sadstug, that is a really interesting question. And it's not one that I asked. I did check that I could ob out a Zato grid to trash the Tranquility Home Grid. I would assume that it wouldn't trigger the Tranquility Home Grid because you have to trash it, and so it would be gone when the Zato is in. But I might just double check that at some point in case, because if so, then that's actually even better, right? Like, I would assume not, but we'll find out. So these NGO fronts, I was doing a lot of testing of this with Jonald, and it was 1 NGO front, and then we tried it with a regolith for quite a while, and I found the regolith to be too slow, and we tried putting in various other things, and we went back to being on 1 NGO front, and I found a cut somewhere, I don't know where, and I went up to 2, and I was super happy with this. Yes, so it would we have a confirmation here from Cold Lava that the trash would happen first. So you trash first and then the install happens. So no, you can't. But that's fine. So I had 2 NGO fronts, and actually this deck it's really, really useful in this deck because you probably do have a reasonably taxing server. They're maybe trying to get through an envelopment or like whatever else you've got going on. So you can tax out some money, but they also kind of have to run them if they know what's going on, because if you install advance a card and it's face down, so it's not an Oaktown, then more than likely it's a Kimberlite Field, and if they don't run it, they're going to lose a bit of their rig, and that's going to be pretty bad for them, and I'm going to score 2 points. If you install and double advance a face down card, then there's every chance that it's an STS drone deployment, and you're going to lose a lot of your rig, or not a lot, the same amount technically, but you're still going to lose the program, and I'll be on 3 points. So the double MGA front here was was really really good. And then here it is. It's the All Star. This was the thing that made the deck work. Um, we found this like quite early during testing, but Ob always struggles with 2 cost ice. You want some like 2 cost ice, preferably, which like ends the run. And that's why we've been playing wraparounds here. But Thimblerig has been excellent. Like I said, Bankar is a big problem for this deck, but Thimblerig completely shuts out Bankar unless they've got a buzzsaw. Because if you put the Thimblerig on the outside of whichever server you are wanting to go on, then you can just move it inwards. As they Bankar through it, you move it inwards, and then they're like, oh, well, jack out. So Thimblerig, as one piece of ice, does a great job of protecting multiple ice servers. And you can do some sneaky stuff, moving border controls around to stop things like a finality run, or even to stop like a winning run on a remote that has an agenda in it. Thimblerig itself won me at least 3 games, maybe 4 games over the weekend. Like, it was absolutely fantastic. Did I play the same decks in COS? I think I played the original version at COS. So this is why I made all the changes on Friday night, because I the deck wasn't quite feeling correct, and that's where I was like, I want more taxing ice. I need like something to change. So this Trank would have been a Vovo. We were playing a DRM, was a spicy include as a way to like find the agendas that we wanted. But I ended up cutting that. And I can't remember what the other influence would have been. I think it was a second magnet. Yeah, it was a second magnet. We won 2 magnet, and I actually decided to cut magnet because I was assuming, I think correctly, because I didn't run into many, but most people were off Botulus. Now I didn't run into any of the QTM lot, and we'll talk about their deck later. That would have been a time when I would have really kind of preferred a few more magnets, but they've got ways to deal with that anyway. So, yeah, I was like, I think we can make do with 1 magnet. It's like a tech piece that we can pull at a moment's notice if needed. So we just need the one. So like magnet, thimble rig, and wraparound are kind of all here as like little tech pieces um which might end the run. Zombie. I never saw you reveal the answers to the dingbat thingy. I stuck them up on the walls, but I can send you the I can send you the answers if if that's been getting at you. Okay, so this is what I played. I would love to tell you how well it did. I think it did pretty well. I think I lost 2 games over on it. One of them was my own absolute stupid fault for grieving out an Oak Town behind a single piece of ice against Abraham in like round something 5 or something. Really dumb. Could have just scored it. Definitely should have scored it. Had 5 advancements on it. Why aren't I scoring it? Because I want to get to Takana, trigger next turn. Really dumb. Just score the sodding thing. Or at least put the Takana in the server so if he can run it and get in, then I get a nice, like, just all time bonehead play. Really, really bad. And then I got run over by a Ken with it, but I think it won the rest of its games. I really can't like remember too well, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to look back over Cobra and see, because I don't know if it's ever going to show me all of Cobra. I need to ask Jeff if there's any way of getting that information. Um, Everyone throughout the weekend was asking me, "How are you doing? How's your standings?" I don't know. I don't keep track. I'm not like, my brain just turns to mush after about 3 rounds. Okay, this is the ESSA. I'm going to whiz through this because I want to talk about the stuff that other people were playing. We should have, Augusta says, we should have had a don't cook Oak Towns for Takana intervention. Yeah, probably. That would have made sense. Okay, so this was my Essa. It's completely breakerless. I don't think it's been posted yet, but in a second we'll talk about the Essa which um, Unbanned brought, and I think NWE brought us a kind of similar-ish list as well. Oh, he's in the house, in the chat right now. The legend, one of the legends of Netrunner, Swifty. How you doing? Um, Somebody called us a couple of legends. Uh, Absolutely inflated our egos beyond all measures. Um, okay, Essa. This was my version, which was completely breakerless. Like I'm running Bankart and 3 Airblades. Airblades was sick all day. It was very, very good, uh, particularly at stopping encounter abilities. 2 Boomerangs, 3 Botulus, and then I was originally running 3 Hush, and I dropped it down to 2. And the main reason for that is that uh, I can really struggle against magnets, especially magnets on the inside of servers. But when they res a magnet and pull a botulus onto it, I can just put a hush on the magnet, and then I can use the botulus to get through the magnet each turn. Um, oh, Cobra has the results now. Amazing. I might not want to look. I will see. But as well as all the bees, so the botulus, the boomerangs, the blades, the bankar, I was also playing more bees because I had 3 breakouts, and this was like my spice, I guess. Like uh, I cut a lot of the other stuff, so I'm only on 2 finality, I'm only on 2 Chishishka. I've got 1 work, but I have ways of recurring all of them, which is fantastic. This also doesn't leave the game, so like you could technically DJ back a Gatorga if you wanted to get back a one-off. So like if you really needed your legwork back, then you could Gatorga for that. Um, you can Katorga back your Light the Fire, which is really, really important in certain matchups. And sometimes, and we'll talk about the game against Soccer in a second, you Katorga back for something else. All the events that you'd imagine apart from that. I cut down to 2 Dirty Laundries. This was originally at 49 cards. It had 3 Dirty Laundries, it had 2 Light the Fires. And on the morning, at literally when I was doing the thing on the phone and registering my deck lists, I cut 1 Light the Fire and 1 Dirty Laundry to get it down to 47 because I was just worried about it finding stuff. Fix asked, did you use Light the Fire? I used it in so many games. It was very, very good for me. It was even better for me when we played in COS, particularly into a mitosis PE, which it essentially won me the game because of. So, lots of events that you expect. Single Bravado, which is was XDG's suggestion. Thanks for that. This was originally 3 Biobands, and I realised thanks to Augustus that I didn't actually have maybe enough installables for Biobands to be worth it. And then Fenris, a Nuka for draw, a Light of Fire, which was excellent. Hey Dijane, how you doing? This is it. Look, I put up a breakerless list and Dijane just appears in the chat. You'll be very pleased with this, Dijane. This is what I took to Worlds. This is very much your jam. I mean, I think I even said to someone, this could be a Diogene list. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, yeah, and other than that, it does ESSA stuff and it wins in ESSA ways. Um, Sometimes, if you're expecting a kill, you just put down your marrow and you try to not take any more core damage. So that they don't really have the kill, and maybe you hold on to a steel skin. I have Katorgad for a steel skin, so that I made sure I had one in hand on certain turns. Um, but this is the deck which had to go up against Soccer. So I played soccer in round. It was the second round of day two. Mm, anyone know whether that was six or seven? I guess it was. We did 6 rounds first day, seven. So maybe it was round eight. Round eight, I went up against soccer and we 2-for-1. Um, and he rolled call. So I was on Essa. For those who haven't seen the stream and seen what soccer was up to, his deck was wild, and I think I'm gonna try and put it together. Um, on I'll try and put it together now because I can remember most of it. I'm sure like someone's got the actual deck list somewhere. But he was playing Built to Last, which firstly, if anyone had like who was picking Built to Last to win Worlds, because it wasn't even on the sheet for the kind of like who's gonna win Worlds sheet that I think MCG put together, which is hilarious. So he was on a 49 card Built to Last. He was playing 3 copies of SDS. He was playing 3 copies of Send a Message. He was playing 1 copy of Above the Law. Uh, I spoke to him about the deck afterwards. The Above the Law, like the reason he was playing 49 cards was so he could include an Above the Law, so he could get rid of twinnings and potentially ban cards, but mostly twinnings, I think. I'm assuming it was on Free Spin Doctor. I couldn't imagine otherwise. It was on hedge funds and government subsidies. It was on Water Walls, maybe free, but I'm not totally sure. But this won't be the exact deck list, but I can get fairly close. It had Feroses. It had what's the new one that puts advancements on ice and is a oh my gosh, my brain. Um, come on, standard. Yeah. It had 3 Winchesters, 3 Tree Lines. I think it was 3 Hortons. It might have been. I don't think it was an Arquette Swifty. Um, because it had 1 Border Control. He had 1 Sadaka. This he said was to get rid of twinning. And I think he had 3 copies of Mr. Chester. And like, I don't know about you, but that's probably all of his ice because that's like, and because that's already 17, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, like that's 17. And so maybe there was like only 2 Hortons or 2 Mr. Chestos or something. I have to work out the influence in a second. He had at least 1, maybe 2 copies of this. Soccer has copy or copies of Rhyme in his world's winning Built to Last. Um, this firstly turns off Bankard. Like you put it on the outside, so you've got like a triple advanced Varus on the inside. No one can get through this well. You don't have to worry about that. It's always going to be taxing no matter what they're getting it through it with. Um, Rhyme on the outside of it stops you bankaring through it. It would also stop you hippoing it, and it also makes it 10 strength. And at 10 strength, no amount of core damage will let Begamot get through it for 1 credit. 1 Rhyme. Thanks, not yay. Um, I believe I didn't see it, but I believe he had a copy of Trojan Horse. Very spicy. He had a copy of, and I know because I milled it into the bin. Secure and Protect. Um, let's note how much a champion soccer is to win worlds while being fun. Well, yeah. So I could see I was standing behind him when the final was happening, and you could see he had 2 agendas to handle all game, pretty much, or like from when I was watching anyway. But I think that's fine. Like he did that, but that his deck can deal with that because he can make running HQ so uncomfortably expensive that you can never go in for like singles. Um, it's just not possible. There must be one less message Jespo because I know that he was on free biovolts. Biovolt is a great include here because it's gonna stop. Like he was expecting lots of Essa. This is going to stop all the finalities, the Tuchishkas, all of that kind of thing. That's why he only needs one border control. Genius. And then his kind of plan, obviously, was I think 2 clearing houses, and maybe 3, but I think it was 2. Um, yeah, was clearinghouse. Clearinghouse for the win. And again, this is like genius because you're expecting lots of Essa. Like Essa games, if they go long enough, they're down to a hand size of about 4, 3, maybe even 2. Do you know how easy it is to kill someone on with a clearinghouse if they've got a hand size of 2? Pretty easy. I was running the stream overlays for the finals, and it was the best game of Netrunner I've seen. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I can't wait to watch it back. Like, uh, I just can't wait. Oh, and there was Rashida's, and I'm missing like 4 cards, but that's essentially his deck. Have I put in NGO fronts? There was NGO fronts because that's incredibly good. That might be it. There we go. It's like something like that. Um, and it's genius. It's like yeah. It had 3 NGOs. Or well, I saw at least 2. Um, but I played against this deck round 8. Uh, Soccer told me that he was worried afterwards because um when he found out that I had boomerangs and botulus and things like that, that's the one thing, like boomerangs in particular, are the one thing that deal with Theros better than anything else. Like boomerang through it, clear the tag. He's not too worried about Bankar because he's got a ton of ice and can just put something annoying like a rhyme in front of it. I think I speak. Phil says, I think I speak for everyone when I say soccer decks make no sense. How's he keep winning? In it, right? Like you look at this deck, and I don't know if this is exactly it. And I mean, it does look quite neat now, but when I was sabotaging all of his cards and looking in the bin, I'm like, who made this deck? Like, this is insane. Anyway, our game got down to a turn where he had a card in the server which he had a single advancement on the turn before. He went up to 2 advancements, passed the turn to me. I did some stuff. Can't remember what. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I probably need to get in there. There was 2 pieces of ice on R&D. One was a Messner Chesto, which I had a botulus on, and the other was a Hortum, which was rezzed on the outside. Couldn't get through it. Hadn't found a Bankar this game. There was a rezzed border control on HQ. The only freaking border control, so I couldn't really Chishishka. Like, shame. Anyway, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, I'm probably about to lose this botulus. And that was gonna be a problem because earlier in the game, I had like a boomerang on his HQ ice. I had a botulus on each one of the R&D ice, and he wiped his entire board. He just threw all the ice in the bin, put 1 piece of ice on R&D, 1 piece of ice on HQ, and clicked for a credit. Really great gameplay because he knows that's how he loses. It's like botulus and boomerangs. Um. So anyway, I'm like, well, I'm probably about to lose this botulus to an SDS. I'm like still drawing, looking for my Bankar. I find some other stuff. I play some econ, what have you. Next turn, he goes advance, advance, advance. Pass turn. And at that point, I knew exactly what was going on. I hadn't seen the clearinghouse yet, but I was like, I know what's going on here. And if we go back to my Essa deck, you will notice no pinholes. Shit. Also, importantly, when he trashed all of his ice, he made sure to point out but the boomerang does not get trashed. Stays on my board, which means I can't recur it with Katorga Breakout unless I find another boomerang. So anyway, at this point, I I know that I either have to get in through what I know is a triple advanced Theros. That not that it's triple advanced or not matters. It's just got an end of run, and any of my breakers will kind of get through it, but Botulus won't get through both the end of runs this turn. So if I've got to find my second boomerang, I've got about 10, maybe 11 cards left in stack. Get in and trash that clearinghouse. Or I've got to win this turn. I'm already on 3 points. I'll have to find 2 more 3-pointers or the above the law and a 3-pointer. So first click, I click Nuka, draw 3. Nothing. Second click, I play Steelskin, draw 3. Still nothing apart from a Katorga Breakout. I have a Botulus in the bin, but I don't have enough clicks to Katorga Breakout the bin, put the Botulus on the Hortamon of R&D and Finality. So that's not a play. So I'm in the tank for ages. In the end, I decide to Katorga Breakout the bin, get a Running Hot, play Running Hot. I have 3 more clicks. That was with my last click. I've got 3 more clicks. I draw another card with Essa. So far, I've drawn 7 cards. Still no Boomerang or Botulus. I've got 1 of each left in the deck, and there's about 5 cards left. I have 1 click to draw one of them because I need to draw it and install it and then do something. I draw nothing. I draw Botulus. I have 1 click left to put the Botulus on the Hortum, but no click to play the Finality in my hand. And I turn to Soccer and I say, I'm dead right, and he says yes. Now, if I had had 1 extra click, and the fact that I drew a Botulus means that my only line at that point is to run HQ. Is to run R&D, not to try and get rid of this clearinghouse because I can't get through the Theros. So I would have had to go R&D. There was no other option for me, so I would have put the Botulus on R&D, played a Finality, and I said, that would have been my play. Soccer said, well, you'd have to get quite lucky and rip a couple of agendas off the top. And he turns over the top 2 cards, and he got SDS and send a message. So I was 1 click away from beating Soccer. And that is as good as I'm going to get at Netrunner, I think. Right, catching up with stream. Hey, Gathen, are you back home yet? You were, Gathen was also one of my roommates or Airbnb mates. Yeah, really pleasure to meet you, man. Seabass is like they only make sense for the exact meta. Yeah, this is it. So it's Soccer's decks are so built around the meta, and that's what makes them so good. He's looked at what he expects to see, and he's got it right. Like there was so much Essa there, and his deck is good against Essa. There was so much Zaya. He tried to break a freaking Theros with Kurapira. Like it's not gonna happen. And look at this ice. He's got nothing you can charge a Kurapira up off. He's got nothing which you can run cheaply to charge like a Takobi up off of. All of this ice is annoying and taxing. Like Messner Chespo is horrendous. Yeah, damn right, Phil. Like I had a ton of clicks that turn, and I had a ton of draw, and I still didn't quite get there, but it was wild. I'm gonna save this, and then when Soccer publishes his list, I'm gonna see how close I am. I'm now getting the feeling that probably he was on free clearinghouse because that would make sense, but I just didn't see him. Let's do that, and let's say he was just on 2 wall to wall. Yeah, otherwise it seems like probably too much. And I'm going to see how close I get to what his deck actually is. Soccer's core. Question mark. Okay. Um, yeah, the deck was very good against criminal. And like this again is like why he's got things like rhyme because he can just res that even on 0 credits to stop it like an inside job. Like it's great. Okay, let's quickly talk about this deck, which was part of the Crown of Service. This is Warlock, Warlock's deck, which also Cobra Bubbles took. This is a Cabanessa Wu deck, which is an Eternal deck, and this plays an infinite credit loop. Not only does it do that, it can set up an infinite credit loop on like I think Cobra did it turn 2. Um, they think it can realistically do it almost all the time by turn 4. I would believe that. The plan here is you woo out a Shazarazad or you get it off a SMC, but I think you could just woo it out because you only really need it for 1 turn. You put down a technical writer. Before you've done any of that, you've played an In the Groove because this is a priority, so you play this first click. And then you woo out a Sadiata onto the Shahrazad. You need 3 credits to do this because of woo. You need to also have a Sadiata in your hand. But what happens then is that you use the Sadiata ability here, which is not a click ability. It's just a ability you can use whenever you want. It says 2 credits. Swap Sadia data with a daily program from your deck. Great. And because the new ruling says that swap has changed so that it means an install, then it means that you install it on the Shahrazad, which gains you a credit. Okay. And because you've played it in the groove, then that gains you a credit. So that's 2 credits. It costs 2 credits to swap it, so you're doing that net neutral. Because you've got a tech writer down, and this is now an install, this puts a credit onto technical writer. You can then do that as many times as you want. So you pick a number, you say I'm going to do this 50 quadrillion times, and then technical writer will have 50 quadrillion credits on it. Sorted. You click the technical writer. You now have Cobra straight up in the chat. How you doing? And yes, I believe Cobra played into Andre with it, and I think he might have broken Andre's spirit. Yeah, so you've got like 50 quadrillion credits on the technical writer. You click it, they're in your credit pool. You don't have to worry about money for the rest of the game. You then can do the same thing, but using the draw function off in the groove to draw through your deck to find the other pieces that you want. Because there's a few other pieces in here. And preferably you've done this like on a hyperdriver turn so that you have like plenty of clicks to do this. You can then vamp the corp for all their money because you have as much money as you want. No problems at all. Smash it out. And this is the bit I remember tinkering around with this and trying to build it. And I didn't get close to it being anywhere near this good. This is probably the biggest include here. This icebreaker is the most expensive icebreaker in the game. I don't think that is a word of a lie in terms of using it. It is incredibly expensive to use Worm, but it is an AI breaker that has no claws. So you can use this on any ice, with the exception of a couple of things. There's a couple of things. I guess Lotus Field is the problem, right? But you've got Engolif. That's not a problem. Um, and this then gets you through any ice. Perfect. You then have all the tech that you need for everything else. New Angeles City Hall, Guru Devinda. You can pay for these as much as you want because you've got unlimited credits, even though they're normally very expensive. Film Critic to deal with all the nasty agendas. And you have Clone Chip and Clot to deal with faster. Perfect. They have one copy of Ngolo, which deals with everything that Worm doesn't deal with. Not a problem. And then you can just run Conduit over and over and over again. It's got rumor mill, so you don't have to worry about like the ob lists and a few other nasty stuff. It's even got a marathon because when you've got 1 million credits, you can pay a credit to check all the remote servers, and you can get rid of everything that they've put out. Um, Absolutely nutty stuff. Diogene asking how does the corp win against infinite credits? I'm gonna tell you because the corp that we brought technically beats this, and it's all down to who sets up fastest. So this was Cobra's and Warlock's runner. It's an infinite credit runner, and it can technically pay through anything and do whatever it wants. Where is? Oh, I might have it in. Here we go. Can you see that, or do I need to move my face? No, that's fine. This is. Oh, that's not it. This is the corp that me and Augustus Caesar built. Now, I think Augustus Caesar played a slightly different version of this than this on COS, but this is the version that I've got saved, and there's various changes. But what we were doing is setting up a completely unbreakable remote, and I have just realised that there is no polyp in here, so I think yeah, so we still can technically beat this deck. This is fine. So this was our IG deck. If you're looking at it, you'll notice it does not look much like an IG deck. And Cobra, 100%, I want you to come on and talk about this very, very soon. So this is a deck which me and Augustus spent like a few weeks building, and I had so much fun making this. This was one of like the best bits of preparing for Worlds. So to explain what's going on here, our plan is to make a little bit of money, and instead of the normal assets that you would see in IG, we've actually got things like Hands Eye Review and hedge funds because we just want like money up front. Go go go. We can't deal with our stuff being trashed early, so we're just gonna like take some money. We've got some ice which we can put on HQ to stop ourselves getting instantly siphoned, and that's fine. We need a couple of turns of just a tiny bit of setup. Sometimes, though, we only need one turn, and we can kick off turn 2. So we force the runner to run, and we've got ways of doing that. That's absolutely fine, because otherwise, like Diaper would be an issue, because they don't run until they run. We then power shut down our entire deck and play a Friends in High Places to recur a Nanocivic Grid onto Archives and a Wampoa Reclamation on the board. We chose Wampoa. We were originally on Museum, and we moved to Wampoa so that we don't get shut down by Rumor Mill. We can then recur a card at the start of our turn so that we don't lose because we can't draw a card. So we do that. We get back a Friends, and then we put out a Nanocivic Grid with a Regenesis on it. Now, the runner can run Archives if they want to, but we have 11, I think, in this version, 9, 10, 11. We've got 11 end runs. So they have to run more than 11 times to get into Archives or to get into our remote. And if at any point the face down end runs in Archives get a bit short, then we Kakarembo to turn them all back on. So once we've got a scoring remote with an Nanocivic Grid, and we've got an Nanocivic Grid on Archives, we score out a Regenesis we just install it. Like, we don't do any stupid fast advanced nonsense. We were doing stupid fast advanced nonsense, but we now just score out on a Nano Civic grid, which they can't get into. Um, and we put Hades fragment into our score area. We then don't even need the Wampo reclamation anymore. So theirs goes off. Um, then we just do it again. Like, we can put our friends in high places to get back the next Regenesis, or we can just Kakarembo out like one of our 5/3s or the Regenesis. Um, and then we score out. We score out in like 4 turns, sometimes a little bit more if they're like proving a bit tricky. We've also got like 50 face down cards at that point, or well, 40 something. So we can put out things like a commercial bankers group, and unless they're on employee strike, then we make back enough money from that. Um, we do lose to a couple of things. And one of them is if you happen to be running a Hades fragment, or Hades shard, sorry. Um, oh, and Cobra's true there. Yeah, I guess we can't force you to run fast enough because our plan against like uh like diaper decks is we just start scoring Regenesises from the board, or we'll install double advance like a bacterial programming, and then we just start scoring agendas, kind of force you to run. But if you can go off turn 4, then that's potentially an issue. The best thing about this is we took out almost everything apart from the combo, because we realized that we can even recur. We can search for the friends in high places using the power shutdown, using a simulation reset. Because if we power shut down our whole deck and we simulation back just the cards that we need, being like 2 friends in high places and an Anna Grid or something like that, then we can get everything out of our deck and slam it all back down. This IG deck can and did set up on turn 2. We were playing against QTM in COS, and we got completely unwinnable board state for the runner turn 2, and slowly watched the joy drain out of their eyes, which is the fun of Netrunner, right? Anyway, this was a ton of fun and like really really dumb, but like pretty great. One last deck I want to talk about tonight, and then I probably want to play this deck because Jan Chino, who was doing incredibly well, it was third in Swiss in the first day, and then really unfortunately, um, uh, it tested positive for COVID and had to pull out. Zombie Pinhole beats us, but only if they were on either employee strike as well, or they have like 49 credits, because they have to be able to trash the Nano Civic grid. So this was what quite a lot of QTM were playing. This is their runner, their Hashiko. And I love it because if you've been watching this stream a while, you'll recognize that I played a similar-ish deck to this, like using older cards, but the whole Simulchip, Botulus, Nobkiri cookbook. It's basically doing the Virus Max thing, but out of Hashiko. At AMT, I think it was. And I hadn't really. I think I had actually come back to this since new cards came out, because I remember thinking like the price is going to be really really good for this deck, and unsurprisingly the price is really good for this deck. But the card that I probably missed out of testing in it, which they have gone full in with 3 copies, is the Lago Paranoa Shelter, which makes so much sense because this kind of just turns you into Max, and this deck was always better in Max in the first place. So why not turn us Hashiko into max and get like double the draw essentially, because you get your Hashiko draw and you get your max draw, your shelter draw. This is like absolutely genius. And it's playing decks like this, they just set up this incredibly oppressive late game board state where you can just take away all of the um, all of the win cons for the corp. You've got imps which come in with free counters and are infinite if you need them. You've got Clot on call with free Simmel chips and labor rights to get back the Simmel chips, and DJ Fenris's to get back the labor rights and Simmel chips and all that. Um, and also labor rights to pull back like your spicy one-offs like Light the Fire, which was really good in the meta in general. And then Audrey. And I think this write-up as well, like just go and read this later. It's absolutely incredible. Like so much detail in here. So like literally Jan has like taken the entire thing and analyzed every card and explains exactly why it's in there, which I think is just fantastic in terms of if you're wanting to know how to build a really good deck. Um, this is an incredible way to do it. Like absolutely nuts. Read this and understand deck building kind of thing. Understand why there's just one dirty laundry. Um, but yeah, so it's on Audrey. Audrey breaks like most of the ice, I think, and Botulus breaks the remote, and then you're kind of good to go. This looks fun as hell, and I think I just want to play at least a game or two with this. Um, People on the stream who went to Worlds, how did you have a good time? Tell me what your best thing was. People who didn't come to Worlds, why didn't you come to Worlds? Um, like I get it. It's a long way to travel for some people, and I probably won't be able to go next year when it's on the other side of the world, but we shall see. I'm not gonna rule it out. This deck is called Mulch, which is excellent. Bam. Is oh, did that actually load properly? Yes. Cool. I might before I jump into this game. I have a funny feeling that I'm gonna need to plug my laptop in. Give me 2 seconds, because that looks like less battery than I thought I had. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Bam. Source already back on JNet. He can't get enough. Just got home today. Straight back into it. Love it. Um oh, I need to put streaming. I'm like, you might have to excuse me, my brain is a bit melted. We'll see if I can actually still play any Netrunner. Streaming. I never know. Is it YouTube at? I'm just gonna put this. No. Okay. Let me find it. Bar Ram Woo YouTube. I can't believe I have to search for this, but I can never remember what the actual. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Oh my words. Okay. This is not going well. So it's bar around. It's YouTube. Just show me what the thing is. No. Okay, I give up. Okay. Mulch. Seabass, I really want to go to Worlds but couldn't make the trip. I'll definitely be there next year when it is closer. But oh, thanks, Seabass, you've got it. You also like copied it for me, you legend. Um, I will copy that for a second. Is that AOT Glacier, my beloved? I see in your deck. Yeah. Oh, strawberry pudding. So maybe I very nearly took AOT Glacier. I had my ob deck as my main deck, and then I had my like backup. I'm gonna bail out of playing ob, and I'll play AOT instead. Was my other option, and it's this. Architects tomorrow with Spin Doctors and 3 copies of Tucana. A load of ice, obviously, it's AOT. Ravana turns out to be really, really good. And then just Tranquility Hemgrid and Manigum Skunkworks. Nothing else. Um, just plans to actually go, like, it goes way faster than most people are expecting AOT to go because you're sort of Tucanaing out stuff. Oh, it's L! Hey, hey! Um, yeah, so we're AOT Glacier, but fast AOT Glacier. Um, oh no, oh no, L's sick. I think we Mulligan this that looks pretty bad. Hopefully, a game of Netrunner will cheer you up. Good luck, have fun. I think we can zoom in a little bit. Okay, right. We probably want to get this Lago down stat, but do we want to price? Maybe we moshing. We're against Alpha actually. They're not going to install that many cards in a server, I don't think. So I think price might be better. So we're going to moshing these three. Um, we'll install Paladin. We're gonna see if we can just snap one. A seamless. Interesting. Okay, and then we'll hit the price. And I think we do put down the Lago now. I mean, Fermenter's good money, but we want just the draw, I think. Tucana and AOT get sad against Inversicator or Tau. I mean, yes and no. Um, yes, please. Oh, yes. Check out that. Check out that explosion. That's insane. Um, I don't think it gets too sad because you're resing all your ice anyway, and against Tau, you just make like a massive wodge on R&D and on the remote, and you'd probably ignore HQ as much as possible. Okay. Do we fermenter this? There's a chance we run it, but maybe I want to find. Yeah, we can price here. Oh yes, I'll gain 2. Thank you very much. Um, we could Knobkery, Audrey, run server. I have to read Audrey, so I'd need to trash 2 cards for my grip. That's absolutely fine. So I think we do that. We'll go this, install Audrey. Oh no, it's not. I haven't got cookbook down. So do we make a run, or do we install Audrey? And no, let's just put down a fermenter, and then we'll make a run on R&D. Yes, please. We'll trash the spin doctor. Okay, Rashida. I think I need to. If you swap remotes, if you swap remotes, you don't get AOT trigger. If you swap remotes, how do you mean, zombie? If you swap remotes, you don't get AOT trigger. Well, this is spicy. Oh, are we going to get neuro spiked here? If they're on seamless, I would assume that we're going to get either punitive or neuro spiked. Um, so if they're on seamless, we can throw out this clock quite happily. I think we can also throw out this guy for now. Uh-huh. Um. Hmm. What's in the bin? Fair amount of stuff. We can get a botulus, but we don't have a cookbook. So might I mean the worrying thing is if they're on Neurospike, then we kind of need to go and get this now. But then maybe we die anyway. So we could go Audrey would then have to make a run. So I think we just look for our imp and we try and kill the Neurospikes from hand. Let's draw. We'll run archives to keep our self flipped and place a virus counter, which seems really good. And we'll put down a chip. If you swap remotes, you don't get AOT trigger with Inversicator. Okay. God, it's been a long time since I played Inversicator. Or against it, because you don't pass it. Yeah, but they. Mm, interesting. I'd have to look into that. I don't think there's enough Inversificator. Like, I definitely wasn't expecting Inversificator at Worlds, so um, I think I'd be okay. Although the Robin was on Inversificator kit. I saw it, or I saw its deck list. So maybe here we like install the Audrey. I kind of want more draw. How can we get more draw? We could laborize. That's a bit risky at this point. Oh, I might need to laborize actually to get back the laborites and the Steve. So let's do that now. We'll draw. There we go. It got me more draw. Perfect. So we'll get back laborites, Steve. Oh, we lost a cookbook earlier. I didn't notice that. That's quite big. So we'll get back the DJ and the cookbook, I think. Um, hmm. Okay. We can do this. Audrey, run. Or just Audrey, run. We can trash a strike fund to get some money. We can get one on here. Maybe we pop this. So let's install this. We'll run archives. Trashing one card from our grip. I guess yeah, we're just doing that. That's fine. Yeah. Yes, please. And then I think last click we do this. probably bring one back. Could be a bit risky. I think we bring back a botulus on this. Oh, we had a light the fire. Okay, we've got light the fire, so we can deal with Seaworks, so we're fine. Okay, doing a pretty good job of milling our way through our own deck here, so that's good. There's our cookbook. That's good. Um, let's put that down. Will raindrops into HQ? Sure. I guess there's only one counter. We'd potentially have an issue if we hit exactly a Winchester. Ah, no res. Very nice. Yes, please. We'll put one here. We'll trash Rashida. Get another counter on. Let's draw one. Oh, that's what we wanted. That's fine. We're going to put down the light of fire now, just so that we are ready to deal with City Works if they pop up. Um, Cold Lava saying that you should get the AOT trigger even if you inversificate an ice. Potentially just a JNet bug. Okay, well, next turn. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. The next turn, yes, please. That's perfect. Draw one of these already, which is a bit of a shame. Um, put down an imp and run this. There's a chance that this is just something that's going to do damage, which is annoying. I guess if we were really worried, we'd like to fire it. But I don't think we're worried enough. I definitely should have put down the other symbol chip here. If I lose, if I lose the symbol chip and my second labor rights, then we're actually in a super tough spot. What is this? Huh. Okay. This potentially. Okay, well, at least we can protect this and this, so that's fine. We'll break the ender run. The other can fire. Um. Oh, fine. We'll put a counter here. We're gonna run HQ because I think they're on snares, and I don't mind losing these cards. I don't want to lose the other cards. I guess we might like. Oh, I'll steal that. Do we run last click? Probably not, because like I said, I think they're on snares. Oh, I should have done this in the other order. Yeah, I should have. I forget. Like it's really hard on JNet to remember which way you need to click them, but really I wanted a simul chip first, then the labor rights. Not that it's going to make a difference because I'm going to draw the other one next turn anyway. Um, so let's put down this simul chip because it's actually very important. Now we're on HQ. And we're just going to start smashing through this ice. Okay. This is reasonably expensive. So, do I have another? Botulus. No. Is there any way I can pay for this? Oh, I lost a leech. Tuno said in the right of a leech is a very important part of the rig, and I could see why. Because we're gonna need it to get through this Valentau. Um, I guess I just move the Botulus onto it, and then hmm, yeah, this is gonna be a tricky one to break with Audrey. Thinking could just let this fire. Like I could just completely let this fire. They gain two, I lose two. We have more credits. I think I just let this fire, right? We'll both be on 14. Zombie, go and get some good sleep, man. Absolutely. Yes, please. We'll put it on. Uh, just keep charging Swordery for now. We'll trash that. We'll draw and uh, do I need to play the other Laborites now? I don't really want to, so let's draw again. Um, Actually, overdrawing was probably wrong because I'm gonna need some cards to deal with the Audrey. Okay, do I want to symbol chip this out on their turn so it gets an extra counter? I don't think so. Let's see what I draw. Oh, I draw a Botulus. How nice. So I think we do this. We'll run HQ. We'll break the end run. I think we don't have to break any of the others. We're only going to lose one credit. We'll give them two. That's fine. We can then go back if we want to, which is nice. Yes, I'm going to put it on the imp. Then I can, yeah, there we go. We can imp that. We get one on the Audrey. We'll run R&D. A tree line. It's actually reasonably expensive. Like, this is, yeah, we really need the leech. Have I already simul chipped? No, I haven't simul chipped yet this turn. I haven't, like, trashed the program. Um, okay. Do we go through here? No, we'll just let it fire. I'm really gonna need this leech. So the question is, I need something to trash to it. I might have to install this Audrey to simul chip it. That's bad. Uh, okay, let's draw once. Whoops, that was our last click. Get rid of the palette. Tell you what, this has got through the deck in one hell of a speed. This card turns out to be pretty good. Yeah, we really want to botchless here, don't we? Guess that would be a pretty decent option. Let's see what we draw. A botchless. So we just put the botchless here. That seems fine. Let's turn this so that it's on always. We'll run R&D. Yes, please. Let's trash that. We can go back. Pivot. We can trash that. Um, can't go back in this turn. Maybe we just click for some credits here. Like, I think that's fine. Ooh, what have I actually got left? I don't think I want to be trashing cards at the moment, even to draw cards, because one of them is Steve. No. Uh, Axu, how you doing? I am back home. I left fairly early this morning. No, not actually that early at all. I had to wake up what felt like very early this morning. Okay, so we think this is a pinhole. No, we think this is a virus. So I think I just run here to force the purge or to trash from the virus to start with, and then we'll go from there. Um, maybe it's if it's not, maybe it's like an Angelique. It is an Angelique. Hey Z-Bag, what is up? Um, yeah, excellent, excellent night all round, and absolute pleasure to meet you. Um, uh, that can stay. We'll pay two trash. Um, Axu accidentally took a fourth nap and missed out hanging with people today. Yeah, I wasn't around for very long. Um, let's run HQ. Um, are we breaking this with this? I guess so. So we'll trash this. Drawing two. Oh, now. Okay, so now actually I'm going to put down Steve and run back. That can fire then. Probably incorrect. Trash. The cookbook will break. Continue. And I think we might fully break this. We definitely break this. We'll break. Yeah, because they're not actually that rich right now, so I'm gonna break a lot. Let's get back. Those skins don't make sense. I probably want to. I think we just get back a fermenter. Ah, we'll steal that. Yeah, me and Z-Bag and Sweary Princess and uh who else was still out late? And Austin, Ice Cold Jazz, along with various others, Vespa, um and Extra Chris, all ended up staying out pretty late last night. Found a pretty fun little gay bar, danced to some Britney Spears, and none of us were even ashamed. It's very good. Had a good time. I am absolutely not regretting it today. I had a fantastic time. I regret nothing, but my word has today been quite challenging. Um, I had the mother of all hangovers. I don't know about you, Z-Bag, but yeah, I definitely was feeling it this morning. I forgot about Spanish gin and tonics and exactly how much gin goes into one. Uh oh, I'm about to get punitive for two. Have they got two Angelique in hand? Wow. I forgot that they were on punitive and sea bags up around two. Yeah, well, uh Monday night like jam out it is then. Let's find a club. Let's go. Okay, we lost our last labor rights. Could be an issue. Could be an issue. Kind of interesting here. Like punitive, but obviously your outfit, so you want to play regulatory captures. And I assume hostiles? So maybe the punitives are just there because, to be fair, punitive is pretty good. Like this whole the idea here might just be to use pivot. Do we want to trash a top card or stack? No. Okay. That's a problem because that is an Angelique. Oh, there's our conduit. Hmm. We have actually run out of cards. We have got through our deck pretty quick, but I'm not quite sure how we win now. Thinking. I guess we start just hammering HQ, right? We move this one here and just go because we're gonna need to like Steve back some stuff. So run HQ. Just end the run. The rest can fire. Steve, I think let's get back fermenters for now. Oh no, actually we need to get back the symbol chips first so that we don't get locked out. We'll try not to hit a snare here. We'll steal that, I guess. We're gonna have like a ton of credits on the paladin. That's fine. We don't really need to install anything else. Um, we'll just gain free and install a silver chip, and then we can probably trash the Lago actually. Like we don't need any more. Paladin, trash Lago. Okay. Yeah, so this is why we installed the symbol chip in case of this nonsense. Ah, cleaver. That could get us through a tree line, but we really want a leech to be able to do that. Oh, well, I guess it's not actually that expensive to get through tree line. We don't need to use money for anything else. So we should be all right. Oh, perfect. Um, we'll break that. We'll break that. Vapor border control. And we just take some credits, I think. Like, I see now why the write-up mentions how important the leech is. Because without the leech, do we want to run this? Or do we think that's a, what's her face? An Angelique? Could be a Buffalo, that would be wild. Let's run HQ first. Um, have we got two symbol chips in the bin? No. So let's get the leech. Where are you? There. Noggery will place a virus counter on the leech. Choose the cards in the deck. We'll get two symbol chips. We'll leave that where it is. So now we can actually go back if we want to. Put this down. We probably don't want to. And then we just take two credits. Wall to wall. Okay. Tree lines. Luckily, we've got a botulus on it, but we can probably never run this R&D, unfortunately, now because we will die. Or we won't die, but it's our last two cards, which feels quite important. Yeah, that could be a problem. Um, if we have to get a botulus back, what do we trash? We have to trash this botulus, or we get a buzzsaw back, but we can only use buzzsaw with the like massive amount of leech support. This is going to be quite tricky from here. Feel okay. Well, that's going to need to be botulus, or we get the revolver down, but that's only going to break it 3 times. Although botulus is only going to break it every other time. Maybe the revolver is better here. Then we can, yeah, let's do revolver. We'll get rid of this, and then we can Steve for two botuli. Um, go this, break for one. Yeah, this is oh, I don't know if it's Odal's list. This is the QTM list. Oh, you mean this? What the corp looks like Odal's list? I didn't see what Odal was in on, so that's like wilder. So do I want to actually break any of these? Oh, I have to, right? Oh, I have to because the other's five first. Interesting. I might need to check out if this was what he's on. It looks spicy as all hell. So Nogri wants to put the virus counter on the leech. We'll choose two cards in the grip, which is going to be two botulus. Steal for the win. Yeah, I was worried about snares. Um, wow, that goes fast. Like, um, talking to Izzy, she was like, yeah, it does set up super fast, and they are not wrong. I'm if I was playing this, I would be really sketched out to not be on free labor rights because playing very similar lists in the past, I've always wanted to be on um free. I always wanted free labor rights, so I might have to adjust that. But I mean, it had just enough recursion. We just about got there, so I guess that makes sense. But damn, did that feel good? Like it's definitely Prana. The shelter is sick. Like the turn where it drew a card and trashed a steel skin, and so drew two more cards. Absolutely nuts. Let's see if we can find this. Has it been posted, Axu? Let's look deck lists. Um, Looking for. Might not have posted yet. This is a great name, amazing name for a deck list. Get in there. Okay, I can't see it up here, so maybe it hasn't been posted yet, or I can search. Let's search for uh right back on schedule. Yeah, damn right. Uh oh, this one? No, not that one. How do I do it by like whatever? Uh I want now. I want current sort by date. I think annoyingly this does it like in the wrong way round. No, maybe the right way around. Oh, I don't know then, Axu. Is this Odal's list that's secret? Um, because I can't see it on NetRunDB. Uh, yeah, I wanted to do a stream today. I've talked a load about the decks which I took and played against, and I'm just testing out Mulch because this is QTM's runner, which just looks nutty good. Um, and was in our first game. Uh, Very much a style which I can totally get around. But yeah, I think I would drop this dirty laundry for a labor rights. Getting on my flight now. Um, Augustus, have a great flight. And I'm sure I will catch you on the other side. Um, and yeah, it is a ton of fun. Or so far it has been. Uh, I also Jan also put up the the corp which they were on, like a lot of, or at least some of QTM were on this, which is like this kind of wild fast advance asset ob, which feels a bit like the fast advance asset ob that I've been playing out of Um, Playing out of Eternal, but just slightly less broken. Oh, right. Okay, so obviously Axie got to see um the decks. I'd be playing you, but I've also just want to fall into bed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm knackered. I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do one more game. Probably then gonna have to go to bed. But we shall see. Kind of depends on how much juice I get off that one game. But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun as well. I mean, I think the next couple of weeks there's going to be a ton of decks to try out. Um, if you're a net decker, like you know, Worlds is always going to bring you something which you want to try. There was some other spicy stuff as well. I think Bridgman and I guess some of the other unbanned lot were on, or at least one other was on RH, like a punitive RH list, and Bridgman was king of Swiss, so that list was doing really well. I mean, it's Bridgman, so like he's a good player. And yeah, who thought punitive was going to be like a win con for Worlds this year? And probably more people than thought Clearinghouse was going to be, but there we go. We'll see. And their their ESSA. I said I'd talk about it earlier. I forgot to. So them and I think also the NWE were on ESSA using, and remember this from the stream like 4 weeks back, Bergamot and Lamb. Their entire breaker suite, I think, was Bergamot and Lamb, and they had Banker, which is absolutely wild, super fun, and some of those listed really, really well from the sounds of it. Like I just played it as a jank thing, but clearly there was something there. As Mari, okay. Do we want to keep this start? Hey, hey. Good luck, have fun. Um, I don't think so. It's got a fermenter, which is good, but this is way better. Look at that. I mean, we're gonna give him some credits, but we can get a super moshing, which feels great. I would assume Asmari's just doing sort of glaciery type stuff. Let's see if they res a Doojar. What's it? They don't, so probably Rashida. Let's give him some money. Kapow! Oh, we draw into the nuts. Set this to always set that to always, and shelter. I guess Paladin, maybe. But draw's also good. Um, oh, nice. Oh yeah, Odo was what the yeah he lost to Cable Carnage in the losers bracket final. Um, yes, please. Trash the clock, pretty perfect. Right. We can. Do we want to play the price to give them money? Let's draw first. I'll draw again. Should have played the price. I'd have drawn cards. I'm gonna try and keep them a tiny bit poor, and by a tiny bit poor, it's not gonna happen because they're Rosmari. But I think there we should have played the price just turn one, which would have definitely been a good idea. Yeah, why not? We lost a symbol chip. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, so they're possibly just like Glacier. Oh, I also forgot that I'm Hashiko. I should be running. Hmm. Sure. Let's hit the price. Okay. What did we lose? We lost raindrops. and a moshing. Well, we're going to install the leech here. It's a bit of a shame. We could probably play this steel skin now that we've done events. We could play this moshing now that we've done events. Paladin, probably the Audrey, and the revolver. That's better in the bin. And Dirty Laundry R&D now that we've played events. Seems fine. I mean archives, but you know what I mean. Let's get a Hashika flip on the go. Third, no, second Rashida. That's actually great for us because that means they're not going to want to purge, which would actually be like if they don't ice up archives, we might put down Nobkuri. Yeah, let's do that. Yes, please. Look at this. Look at that draw. That's insane. Rat King, how you doing? This game, as in this game in general, is called Netrunner. Uh, I assume that's like what you mean. Either that or you're just wondering what the matchup is, but it's um it's an asymmetric two-person um sorry, I just got to think about my actual go here. Uh I think we put down Nobkuri, we run archives, we'll pop Fermenter, but then we're gonna have to like throw out several cards. So maybe we don't do that. So maybe we just go. What do they say? Event, right? Fine. So we might like pop a fermenter, install simulchip, pop fermenter, install fermenter, install simulchip, install. Oh, 100%. Um, install a light of fire. What are we throwing out here? Probably the buzzsaw. Are we worried that they're on VSAs? Like, I think I want to keep a leech in hand. I think we can just throw out this strike fund. They score out send a message. Okay, we see a Hydra. Good to know. So I think this turn we flip back, so that's quite good. We're gonna put down a Nobkuri. We'll make a run. We'll draw first. We'll make a run on archives. Yeah, shelter suddenly seems pretty good, eh? Yes, please. What do we see? Self growth, funhouse. Okay. Have we found a botulus yet? We have not found a botulus yet. Um, Probably just take credit here. Like, we could install another fermenter which just forces them to purge next turn. It kind of seems wrong. Then we will have a ton of money. Yeah, fine. Like, I think they need to be pushing here rather than purging, and if they purge, then that's okay for us. Yes, please. Okay, we found a botulus. That is good news. And this is an upgrade. So is this a okay? So this is a virus, right? Because I'm assuming this is like just a glacier, like a glacier Asmari. That seems to be the main. Okay, there we go. Action after my turn starts. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm gonna click this. I think I probably have to run to try and get rid of this nonsense. Don't have a botulus in the bin, which is a bit of a shame. So maybe we just put one on. It's either on the outside or we put one on the inside. I think we put one on the outside. Because I kind of want to force the I'm assuming this is my virus, and I want to force the pop of it if it is before stuff happens. Okay, just a res. So this will give us a tag. We'll have one click left to clear the tag. Um, doesn't matter which ones we break. I guess if this is there anything in MBN that's like still gives us a tag when we access it? If it's an upgrade. Okay, so here we probably have to break this with Audrey because our cleaver's in hand. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll get Audrey. Here she comes. We'll make it down one. We'll trash a price from our hand. We'll break the sub. We'll place the vice counter on Audrey. Possibly on the botulus actually. Because I'm gonna trash this. We'll trash that. Managon makes sense. We'll remove that. Okay. Yeah, we'll trash the card of our stack. Okay, NGO front. It's an NGO front, right? Dealing with these hydras is a bit of a problem. Um, so I think we run. Let's put down imp and run R&D. I think. We've got plenty of juice to. Do we want to go through this? Holy hell! They don't have a hush in this deck. We've got 3 Simul chips and no hush, and no hippo to get rid of this funhouse. So let's just end the run. I think we run archives and then we run HQ. Leech, and we'll place the virus counter on Audrey so we can break both, right? Yeah. and then we run HQ. Go -1, -1, -1. Trash a strike fund from our hand, gaining 2. Break, break, break. Continue. Kind of wild. I just broke a Hydra for +2 credits. Oppo Research, that can go in the bin. Yeah, sure. What do we lose? A botchless. A bit of a shame. Do we go and get this? Don't think we do. Do we need to raindrops into archives, or do we just run into archives? We probably just, yeah, let's just do this. Oh, I guess actually I could have even let one of these fire. Uh, okay, that can fire. Oh, right. Thank you. Is that better? No, that's better. That's been there like forever. Apologies. Um, right, where are we going here? Do we go HQ and clear a tag? We have to like trash 2 cards from hand, but I think that's fine. Clearly, but I refuse. I will trash this. I will trash this. Oh wait. Install Steve. Run HQ. So trash Audrey. Trash that one. We'll break these 2. We'll let that sub fire. Leech. Valkyrie goes on Audrey. Yes. 2 fermenters, I think. We haven't found the other laborites yet, so that makes the most sense. I think we can steal this. I think we're pretty safe here. They're on 0. Like, they might be able to predictive YDL. Ah, they've worked it out. They've named program. They just purged? Fine. Okay, so what do we do now? Just like set up for a little bit, I think. We'll draw 1. We'll install a fermenter. Um, oh, MU is an issue, so I shouldn't do that. We'll install a botchless here. I had a lot of money a minute ago. Oh, I stole a Bologna, didn't I? And I've had to like clear a few tags, which is a problem. Okay, this feels fine. Like, what do you do? Like, oh, you just purge. Fine. Yeah, I guess. Um, do I just click for free? I could run through the funhouse. and just pay 4 and then clear a tag. But I don't think I'm in any rush to do that. So I think I just take 4. Like next turn we can run. Do I want to trash top card on my stack? I don't think I do because one of them's a laborites. So I'm gonna say no. Okay. Um, there's also one of them is a symbol chip. So draw, find a laborites. It's actually the one I didn't want, but that's okay. We could pinhole this. Um, they named program. We could pop the fermenter, install a cleaver, run the server. We take a tag doing that. Bit annoying. Oh, even with all this extra MU, I'm actually a bit clogged up here in terms of MU. So I think it's run HQ. Leech. Nobkari will put one on. I think we put one on the botulus, and then we can go in and trash whatever this is. Oh no, I needed to put one on the leech, on the imp. Oh, balls. Oh, nuts. Fine. Not clever. That was a huge mistake. I needed to put it on the imp. Um, what are we throwing out here? Probably the buzzsaw. Well, that was dumb. I needed, yeah, that was pretty dumb. Okay, so this could well be. Right, are we getting out a revolver? Do we have any hushes? No, no hushes in the deck, which I was kind of surprised because they're running free simul chips. Um, revolver gets through Hydra for 4 credits and 3 bullets. So maybe we're doing that. Getting rid of his botulus. I don't think I want to do it on their turn. Named program. What's the last 2 cards of our stack? Couldn't tell you. Would be really useful to know. Let's do that. We'll get one of these down. We'll run HQ. I feel like I missed something in this deck. After yesterday, it should be about clearing houses. Yeah. Clearing house meta incoming. I did spend most of the plane journey back building clearinghouse decks. I'm not gonna lie. Right, let's get this correct this time. So we go Nobkari needs to go on the imp. Can't believe I didn't uh, work that one out last turn. What are we getting back here? I don't think I want to get back with two botulars because no, maybe we can do two botulars. Hmm. Oh my word, there's no sheer gambles in this deck. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Thinking. Do we get back a raindrop so that we can like run this remote, not remote R&D and force what we assume is? No, I don't think I want to do that. I guess like botulus, botulus. Are we gonna accident? Are we gonna have to throw something out here? Background machinations. Well, we're gonna imp it so that we get an Audrey counter. We can pop this for money, install a fermenter, cookbook, gain a credit. Um, People missing the winning thing in soccer's list. It's more about the dummy taxing ice. We are mulching hard sauce, really hard. Um, yeah, big old mulch going on out here. More about the dummy taxing ice, in my opinion. Interesting, like as in, we do we want to trash it? No, because there's a symbol chip coming up. Okay, assuming a skunk works because we've seen skunk works, could be um, could be a virus. There's always the chance it's a virus. So we probably pop this fermenter now. Install the cleaver. Ooh, did they just trash a Hydra? A resed Hydra? Wow, trashing a resed Hydra is a thing. Okay. Okay, so we can install a symbol chip and go. Do we install a symbol chip, pop a fermenter, install a cleaver? Do we just install the symbol chip and go? We'll just see what happens here. I want to have 2 clicks left so that we can potentially pay. How am I getting through this? Palisade. Okay. Um, so I think I might just let this fire. And then next turn, I'm going to click this and then I'm going to run. And I'm going to do a sneaky little tactic to get my cleaver onto board, which is in the write-up, which is really cool. Oh, Rashida. At least that means they're probably not purging this turn. They are back up on money, though. No, we won't trash the topmost card of the stack because it's the only card in the stack. Okay, so let's pop this. We're gonna run server one. We're gonna trash this card from our hand. breaking that. We're going to install a cleaver. We'll. I think we just fully. No, we might as well use the leech, I guess. We have some clicks left in case this is Managon. It is, but I think we probably. Ooh. Um, we'll pay 5 to force them to start milling themselves. I mean, we might well go back here. If they let us in, we get to trash both of these and we'll get 2 counters on Audrey. Uh, so we might go back. We might put a Botulus on first. Have we got the MU? Yeah, we have. This also uses these Paladin credits, which is excellent. It's a little expensive now, which is very expensive. We do also have a pinhole, but it's literally in hand. But I think yes. I think we put it on the imp. That saves us 3 credits. Do we need to put it on the Audrey? No, we're about to trash 2 things. So we'll just put it here. See this, imp it, pay 1. Okay. We get to draw our last card next turn, so we can labor rights. For a labor rights and 2 symbol chips. Yeah, the rhyme. I think the rhyme is actually the rhyme is one of the sickest includes. It really screws up a lot of maths. Yeah, so Audrey allowing you to like trash stuff from your hand during a run so that you can symbol chip it back in is like very fun. We like going HQ here. Hardware, nice. So they know where we're up to. So we're gonna go labor rights, symbol chip, symbol chip. I don't think we give them the 3 credits. I think we just run here. I don't think there's anything we're really that scared of. FDP. I think we just break this with the money. Hmm. We break it with the money, or we break it with revolver. Okay, so either it's 4 and 2 hosted, and we can break by a Hydra with Audrey. It's an option. I can see just the little boys. So we either pay 4, or we pay 4 and 2 revolver credits. Why am I considering doing that? That's insane. Um, like I kind of want to keep this pinhole, but if we want to break this Hydra with Audrey, which I think we might have to. Oh yeah, I think it'll be coming back in a big way. Think we have to break this with the Audrey. So let's go trash this. We'll trash. I guess we trash the conduit because either we're definitely not installing it like right now. Um, break, break. I think we break it all. Tempting to take a tag there and clear a tag and do all that nonsense. Leech, knob on the imp. Steve for two fermenters. Haven't got any MU though. That's awkward. So it might just be like for two copies of the price of Strike Fund even. Interesting. Two spin doctors out of the game. Am I letting them have a free res here? Kind of need my Audrey token so I can potentially go and trash this. So I think I'm going to imp it. Let's run server one. We'll encounter this. We will trash one card, which is this. Excellent. Gain one. Make it -1. Break the end of the run. Um, break with botchers. Was Soccer on a virus build? Oh no, Soccer's build was very regular. Here's Sashiko. We'll pay one to trash that. And we'll gain a credit, I think. Yeah, Soccer's build was very regular. I think he said there was two boomerangs. Um, and other than that, like it was two boomerangs and two bravados, and then kind of good stuff that you'd expect. Like nothing too spicy. Starting to run out of money a bit here. Might need to start thinking about getting back some fermenters. Maybe I could probably trash a cleaver right now for a fermenter. Let's draw. We'll go hardware, hardware, and um, would love to make a run somewhere. Not really going to happen very easily though. Trash a cleaver, get a fermenter, gain a credit. Okay. So we can laborize, but we don't really want to laborize until we've put this last ferment sandwich in the bin. Might click for free here. I might run here. I can't really get through here. Yeah, it's getting a little tricky now. Do we start conduiting R&D? Do we start conduiting R&D? Wish they had a hush in here. Hmm. Maybe we labour rights for the botulus, the fermenter, and the simul chip. Probably good enough. Botulus, fermenter, simul chip. Draw. Pop that. Stick that on this Hydra. Okay. Like they can't keep purging. They have 7 cards left in R&D, so they need to force a score. They need to force a situation where oh, we lost a botulus. We've got more MU now though, so that's nice. Okay, we can run HQ. Cost us 4 credits. I think that's fine. One, two, three. Nobkery on the imp. 2 cards in the heap is probably is 2 more of the. Where are they? Strike funds. 1, 2 seem to be the best things to get back in hand. Oh, we imp that, and then we go. We just steal that. GG. Um, have we got a botchless in the bin? Yeah. So, boom, 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 boom. Got it. I was worried about this one because they've got some big old ice, um, which can be a little tricky with Audrey. Good game. Oh yeah, 5 us. Oh right. I just realised I had forgotten I had it installed, and I ran the Skunk Void server twice. Whoops. Okay. Hey Jai, how you doing? Um, no one in chat pointed out that I wasn't like the firing via Skunk Void server, so I don't mind the fact that I missed the fact I could have lit the fire on Skunk Void server. Um, I will blame the horrendous hangover. Yeah, I was guessing it was to leave it there if you were going to install and double advance to upgrade. Yeah, but I probably labor rights it if I'm thinking straight. Yes, Source, you're bad indeed. You like how are you not calling out my bad plays there? Um, This is like very, very glaciary, but potentially a good shout right now. I am back home. Um, my wife told me that they met you at Worlds. Oh, who is your wife, Porco Bolo? Oh, I realise you're not on the stream. Hey, who was your wife? Oh, yeah, I know. Tell her massive thanks for volunteering. Always did amazing work and put on a great event. Um, yeah, awesome. Thanks for the game. Ciao for now. Jai, um, how was watching the stream? Because I can't wait to like catch up on some of the stream. Um, what game apart from the final, which I caught some of, but I really want to watch the actual game. What should I watch? Like what really stood out? Uh, Also, you're saying by the way, you're gonna have to identify half the people in the photo you sent. um, the photo I sent you was like so obviously me and Augustus, who actually yeah, so you've probably never met Augustus in person. There was me and Augustus. I have to show you that, and then like half of QTM. And I will try and um Uh, I will try and send you an annotated picture with everyone's names in it, as long as I can remember them. Lazy, that dinosaur is dancing to that song from Stream in my brain ever since. Oh, the COS Eternal. Okay, I will watch the COS Eternal. Um, and then maybe I will understand the dinosaur reference because I'm guessing that's to do with that, or I'm really missing something big. But yeah, I think they streamed quite a lot of Eternal at COS, right? Like 3 or 4 of the games or something were the Eternal ones. I know they maybe caught some of Augustus's game. We were on stream like round one. Um so maybe you got to see like uh what the IG deck was doing there. Round five, Pinsel versus Rongi. Oh yeah, that sounds like a banger already. Rongido, game two is my vote for best game of Swiss, closely followed by round seven, Jack Made versus Kaluchi. I've heard about Kaluchi's deck. Um, Her and a load of the other Belgian players were like triple deep dive, Swift, Zy, Sable, right? As far as I'm aware, 3 deep dives, Swift. It sounds absolutely mad. I mean, it sounds great, but like she was like almost undefeated most of the day, and I was playing around with triple deep dive Sable myself last week or the week before, um, but um, but I was on Hermes, and being on Swift just sounds like a ton of fun. With tunnel vision, oh fuck, wow, that is wild. Okay, well I need to. I can't wait to see that decks. That sounds great. I think Jack made Ob is the slickest fucking ob deck I've ever seen. Um, that's saying something. So I can't wait to see they are, what they managed to cook up. Um, because that sounds incredible. So that was so here we go. So round five, I'm gonna check out. Like I'm probably gonna check it all out, but I definitely want round five, game two, round seven, game one, and uh obviously the COS Eternal games. And with that, oh my gosh, I still did like 2 hours, 3 hours tonight. I can't believe it because I am exhausted. So I am gonna go off to bed, um, and get some sleep because I haven't had much sleep for the last many days. I didn't even get to tell you all about my awful trip to Spain, but let's just say it did not go to plan. I didn't get to the apartment until about 3 a.m. on the Thursday night, uh, and we had to be up and at like COS at about 9 a.m. So it wasn't great, and I walked halfway across Barcelona and back. Um, so yeah, right. For now, I think that is it for the evening. Um, Catch you all around next week. I think I'll be back to regular schedule. Um, and oh, and I couldn't do it last week. We couldn't get it going, and I just couldn't stream last week in the end. But I will be getting Abraham and Charlie, or one or other, or both of them, on sometime very soon to talk about Chimera format, which we played a bunch of on Sunday, and it was so fun. We played it in person. They had Chimera decks in person, and it was absolutely wild. Probably the most fun Netrunner I played all evening. Right. Source get to bed. I'm going to get to bed. See you later, everyone. Have a good week.